Right, we're rolling. Everybody okay? Right, come on, we've got to get through this bloody shit. I've got luncheon with Jimmy Tarbuck at 12 o'clock. Got to get to it. Right, ready? Okay. Hello and good morning to you. My name's Sir Jeremy Creame. I directed and produced Star Portraits with my good friend Sir Rolf Harris. I'll pass it over to Rolf to describe the programme.
G'day. Welcome to Star Portraits, the unique contest where three professional artists come together to paint a celebrity. At the end of the program, the sitter sees the three paintings for the first time.
That's right.
And chooses a favourite, which he or she gets to keep.
If you just listen to Sir Rolf's voice over here, it goes very rough.
It's home for our celebrity.
He came into the studio very short of breath, very angry. I don't know why. Struggled to talk. It's a shame.
Today's subject is a collector with an eye for the finer things in life.
Oh God, I'm so sorry about this image. I fought tooth and nail not to have this in. Oh, Jesus Christ. Fought very hard not to have that in. Obviously it's David Dickinson, that was him. Ricky Dicky Davidson, his mother's got his mother's mouth, if you look there. I fought tooth and nail not to have David Dickinson in. He's not the kind of chap I want to frequent with. He's not been knighted. His skin tone's a little dark for me, if you know what I mean. But yes, Rolf refused to do any paintings. He said he didn't want to be in the public eye that much anymore. He said he was going to start retiring soon. Not sure why. Bloody idiot, look at her. She looks like my fourth wife. She always used to walk around with a cock under her arm. Absolutely dreadful pictures. Now, one of the stipulations Rolf had was that all the artists must be absolutely shite. Look at that, absolutely awful. What a mess, dirty mess. There's one coming up that's absolutely horrific, look at that. Terrible to look at, horrific image. And this pretentious bitch. Ugh, hated this woman. A, she wouldn't let me touch her buttocks, and B, she was so pretentious. Oh God, her art's awful, absolutely awful. I've seen graffiti that's better than that, and that's saying something. Absolutely love graffiti. A squint is going to make it better.
Well, here we are in the heart of the sitter's home. It's a converted barn, great chunks of oak supporting it.
Hideous little house, tiny as well.
The artists are all here. Can I ask you how you're feeling about this challenge?
So we're going to have a huge surprise in a minute. We don't know who we're painting, and they're just going to suddenly turn up.
A little apprehensive, Rolf.
Why?
Entering into the unknown.
Rebecca, how
I'm
long
sure
do you
Rolf
spend
said
with
that
the
a few
sitter?
times, if you know what
just
I
looking at
mean.
the sitter and observing and
God.
interacting with the sitter, that's very important. So this is very new.
Shut
Any
up.
idea who it might be?
Oh,
We've been
absolutely no
trying to
idea,
get this
Rolf.
one
It's
really
not
hard.
through the fucking keyhole, Rolf.
Yes.
Jesus.
We've asked the production team for weeks, we haven't found out.
Well, let's do it.
For weeks.
Let's
As if
pick
you've
our
been in this
celebrity.
process for
Would you
weeks.
step this way, kind sir?
They're like, who's that? I don't know who that is.
Here's, of course, antique Supremo David Dickinson. Binny.
Hello, Benny. Nice to meet you.
Andy.
None of them had a clue who the hell he was.
And Rebecca.
Hello, Rebecca. Nice to
All
meet
these people had full-time job. They'd never watched daytime
I came in
television.
here and looked at the environment, and I thought it was quite female, actually.
David Dickinson took exception to this. He was very offended by it. Bloody fuming. It took him ages to talk him down and get him back into the room. This is 20 minutes later, after he had to up his fee by £2,000. Furious with the woman.
Why did you think that? Because it's very rustic. It's
Such contempt in his voice.
well, of course, that's the nature of my business.
Yeah.
The art that I sell.
God, it's
is
awful.
strong,
It's like a bloody
decorative,
show home.
Decorator art.
Have you
Rolf.
been painted before?
Never before, Rolf. I mean,
Can't believe.
no, never before. But I mean, it's such an exciting prospect that, and three at once.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, you
Sure, Rolf's
were
had three at
about
once.
some colour.
Well, we're just, I'm just trying to sort of take in the blue, a bit of a blue situation.
because he's got a blue shirt on.
Got any other ties?
Any other ties? One of
Again,
my
this woman
favourite-
just seemed to want to antagonise David as much
One
as
of my
possible.
favourite Italian
She absolutely hated the man and he absolutely hated her.
Another 50.
Just pause there for a second. Right, so she's asked David Dickinson if he's got any other ties because she doesn't like the colour. Okay, I thought, well, that's a bit offensive, but, you know, David was a bit annoyed about it, but he rolled with it. And then the woman started getting overly sexual. Didn't know why, don't know where it came from, but, well, this is what she said next.
Get them all down here. And then we would tie you up.
Yes. We were like, did she just say that? You look at her face and there's an air of joviality, but there's also an air of sinisterness. Just watch it again.
Get them all down here. And then we would tie you up.
Just the look of lust in her eyes, but there's also an anger there. She's conflicted with the feelings for Ricky Dicky Davidson, and I think that's the feeling that most of the nation have. They're disgusted by him, but also deeply aroused, and that arousal is causing some internal confusion in them.
Get them all down here. And then we would tie you up. Yeah, I mean,
David was not happy about this at all.
Tie they're painting, or is it me they're painting?
Little digs constantly. So now it comes down to the sitting of David Dickinson, and this again took a really rather erotic turn. I think the guy just exudes eroticism. David was up for it. It was well up. Now look at the bitch in the pink. That was quite a masculine. I think she was actually a man.
Looking rather provocative over the top of the chair. Is that?
yeah, I think that's you. That
That's
looks,
good, that's
that
good.
looks fantastic.
And
yeah.
it's so much more comfortable, isn't it?
It really doesn't look bloody comfortable, Rolf, if you ask me. Anyway, so Rolf's bollocking on now about art or some shit. So this is a production we did in the mid-2000s. Only got 4 episodes, didn't take off very well. Rolf wasn't particularly keen to do it anymore, not sure why. Look at that shit! Absolute dross this guy did. I'm sure he didn't know what he was doing, don't know how he got onto the programme. Some basic sketches they're doing now. And then, what is he doing? He's not even using a brush, he's using some kind of metal spatula. What's that all about? Christ, my 4-year-old once was sick all over. Look at that bullshit. I got so angry when we were filming this. I thought, this guy is having a right bloody laugh with us. He's an idiot, he's an amateur. He wouldn't get away with this on Watercolour Challenge, I tell you what. He'd be off that bloody programme before you could sneeze. That's awful too.
Don't forget, David's not allowed to even glimpse them for at least 2 weeks till they're all finished.
Oh, such a beautiful little man. Looking like a little boy, so happy. Right, so about halfway through now. So we've got a competition winner in. Who was a huge fan of David Dickinson.
How's it going at half-time?
Young chap Paul Fex, if you'd like to come in, please. Hello. Hello, how do you do? I do very well, thank you. How are you? Jolly good. Now, we're just going to have you sit with us while we do the commentary for the Star Portraits of David Dickinson.
Thank you for having me.
Hold your breath a minute. So things went a little bit odd again with this woman and Rolf.
Binny.
You know, he might feel a bit uncomfortable to start
She's
with. Most models do
busty.
feel like that, and so one needs to sort of, you know, stalk him a bit and get into it.
Stalk
And,
him.
Stalk him, it's a lovely statement of the facts, isn't it? You're trying to creep
Yeah.
up on somebody.
Yeah,
else.
and if you think
I'm not
about his
surprised with
personality,
Rolf Harris,
you know,
eh,
he
Sir Jeremy
definitely
Creame?
presents himself.
Well, that's Rolf all round, really, Paul, is just sort of zeroing in on what this woman wanted to talk about, and apparently talking about stalking Sir David Dickinson.
Right.
So,
I'm surprised you're still doing this. You're going ahead with this, given all of Rolf Harris's beastly behaviour of recent years.
Well, yes, I did actually want to talk about Rolf Harris's beastly behaviour. I mean, you know, when you look at it objectively, it was a period of time we all made a lot of money out of it. It was in great demand. And, you know, we thought, should we do this now, or should we, you know, just keep it private? We sat down with Rolf a lot, and we thought, no, Rolf, your beastly behaviour, I think a lot of people are going to be interested in it. You can make an awful lot of money out of it.
Can't believe you're saying that to me, Sir Jeremy Creame. It's abhorrent what he's done.
It's no worse than anybody else's. I mean, crying out loud, he's not the first to do it. He certainly won't be the last to do it. You know, lots of people are begging for it, gagging for it even. It's very common.
Can't believe you're saying this to me, Sir Jeremy. I really can't. I'm shocked and appalled.
Well, have you read it?
Have I read what, Sir Jeremy?
Rolf Harris's beastly behaviour.
What are you talking about?
Rolf Harris's beastly behaviour. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about his beastly behaviour too.
Right.
He touched all them children. He's in prison.
What? I'm talking about his bloody book about aminals.
Do you not watch the news, Sir Jeremy?
No.
He's been in prison for quite some time now for touching up children on television.
What?
Apparently. Allegedly. Not allegedly, it's proven in a court of law.
Oh,
Did you not know, Sir Jeremy?
I had no bloody idea. I didn't know. Fucking tell me.
Sorry.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Thought you knew.
Bastard, get the microphone out, man. Right. Where are you?
What you doing?
Call my agent.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Do I continue talking?
Shit off my head.
Well, David Dickinson obviously hosted Bargain Hunt from...
Peter, Jeremy.
No.
We're just doing this fucking voiceover for Star Bloody Portrait bullshit we did in the mid-2000s. We found out Rolf Harris is in prison, touching up kids. What? What? Why didn't you tell me?
I can't believe you didn't know.
This is a fucking travesty, I tell you what. You want me to come down there? But I'm not going to continue. I've got this fat stinking guy next to me. Stinks, talking about David Dickinson for some reason.
So nice.
You met the man, bloody buffoon. Absolute idiot. There's fucking 3 talentless hacks trying to paint some shit. I farted better than that. Try the inside of my Wi-Fi that's a lot better than this bullshit. One guy's painting, it looks like it's made out of just dog dirt. Tell you what, why didn't you tell me I was in bloody prison? What? No, I will not do the commentary for The Price is Right. Who's doing The Price is Right? Oh. This better not be another blankety blank all over again. I will not work with Lily Savage. The woman's an absolute monster. What? What contract? You're talking nonsense. I have not... What? Right. I'll do the David Dickinson one, but you can chuff off if you think I'm doing the Indian woman. We're still on for the Ivy this weekend. Right. Alright, I'll see you then. Alright, goodbye. Fucking ridiculous.
Everything alright, Sir Jeremy?
What is the point? No one tells me these things. I look like an absolute idiot. If he's in prison, who's going to be buying this DVD? Why am I doing a DVD commentary?
I don't know.
Stupid.
Germans, probably.
What a waste of bloody time. I could have been at home. I've got a beautiful King Edward IV chest coming this morning.
Right.
To look at these talentless idiots. Christ's sake. Paul, waffle on about David Dickinson, please.
David Dickinson hosted Bargain Hunt for quite a long time, but then he went to ITV to do David Dickinson's Real Deal, which I don't actually like as much as Bargain Hunt, if I'm honest.
Right.
There's no element of competitiveness to it. Ooh, Rolf Harris is touching up a painting. I bet he didn't like that. I thought, get your dirty fingers off my painting. It's quite good, that, actually, isn't it, Sir Jeremy? I like it. Look at it. You can tell it's David Dickinson.
You can tell it's
It's quite good.
part of shite.
What do you think, Sir Jeremy?
I said, absolutely rubbish. Disgusting. Look at it. All bumpy. Right, so just come to the end now.
Yep.
David Dickinson's going to see the paintings now for the first time.
Right.
Except it wasn't the first time he'd seen them before. Alright, now what you're going to see, obviously you'd seen these paintings before, I didn't want to be shocked. So what you're going to see is maybe some Oscar-worthy acting from Sir David Dickinson.
He's pretending.
Showed him the first one. I didn't think this was finished. I thought, she's not finished the orange, it's blotchy. There's no definition to the lines, it's a bit blurry. I thought I didn't have my glasses on, but I did. Absolutely dreadful painting.
Yeah.
Look at the thumb on it.
Awful.
He absolutely loathes this one. I can't believe how terrible he... He was nearly sick when I saw it for the first time.
It's very
Sorry.
strong, it's very powerful, this is.
That's
and I
terrible.
like it.
He looks like a baboon.
That obviously is me as a young boy.
Trying very hard to be positive. He's a very positive gentleman, isn't he, Paul?
He is. You don't want to show people up. It's quite
He
kind.
hated it. He
Did he?
spat on it later, if I recall correctly.
What's up with his shirt? Why is it so busy?
Awful painting.
Terrible.
And now this one is just... He hated it so much he had to pretend he loved it.
Oh,
He said the two emotions were very close together.
that's really good, Sir Jeremy. What are you talking about?
He was stunned at how disgusted he was with it, moved to vomit. He was furious, got on his phone to his agents and said if he could try and get out of it, he couldn't get out of it.
That's really good, Sir Jeremy.
He kept saying, why do they all make me look so sad? I'm not a sad man, am I?
Oh.
He just kept questioning how happy he was. Then he said,
my natural mother. If I was to show you a photograph of my mother just before she died, I think you would be virtually looking at her there. You know?
so he said this painting looks like his nearly dead mother.
I feel there's
Oh,
something about
I think it's really good, though, to say how it began, Sir Jeremy.
Awful. He hated them so much.
than perhaps I would want to really be portrayed.
He's not an actor though, so he couldn't keep up his facade of pretending to love them for very long.
This one
Right.
is most amazing. I'm not quite sure what to think about this.
He
Rolf,
doesn't
because
like it. We know he don't
There's
like
a
it.
certain
And
amount
then
of darkness
it
in
just...
the portrait.
Poor David Dickinson, it was terrible. He just started having a bit of a breakdown.
I would like to think
Why?
He couldn't believe that he couldn't believe that that's how people saw him, so sad and not quite as tanned. And there we
Right.
go.
I imagine it's the tan that upset him.
It's your BAFTA moment, Dickinson.
Did it win a BAFTA?
Yes, they're terrible. You should be ashamed.
I'm assuming not.
He lunged at one of the artists, can't remember which one.
Did you? Don't believe you.
Awful. Absolutely awful. I think the woman in pink had a thing for David Dickinson to be cert on.
Yeah, probably right.
in this picture here. There's so much of me in there, and the eyes.
Look at that thumb though, that's terrifying. Can't be his thumb.
That's very, very me. And
It's got like a Mona Lisa
You
smile.
brought out the laziness in my eyes, not something every man wants to admit.
very deep. I'm not quite sure I understand all.
He hated it.
I don't blame him, it's
Very,
rubbish.
very interesting. And then this picture here.
Awful.
There's sadness in there, isn't there? It's
Yes, that's what you want when you want a portrait to look really, really sad,
a difficult decision to do.
Well,
like a dead mother.
There is one picture here
yeah.
that has just blown me away.
And it is?
It is this picture.
And I don't want to accuse David Dickinson of being sexist, but he refused to take a picture drawn by women. Utterly refused,
Really?
I think. I can't really remember any of this, to be honest. I was so high on a lot of prescription medication and a lot of non-prescription medication at the time.
Right.
I was suffering quite badly at that time with gout and various other medical complications. I don't remember great swathes of this. If I'm honest, I don't remember Rolf Harris being in it at all. I just remember David Dickinson's suits.
Right.
The man smelt absolutely phenomenal, if I'm being honest, though.
Does he?
Andy's emotional painting. The other portraits will go on public display.
In a bin, hopefully.
That wraps up this week's programme. I'm sure the portrait
Hey,
David
Rolf.
shows will find
You
itself
dirty,
a
dirty
very special
pervert.
place in his home.
Can't believe it.
See you next time.
There you went, Rolf. Right, that's been Star Portrait.
Right.
Can I go now? I've got luncheon, thank you.
Oh.
I'm back this afternoon. What for? What? I'm not doing the commentary of the Sky at Night from 1917 to 1977. Yes, I'll do it now. We recorded the Sky at Night from 1970 to 1970. Just point a camera at Sir Patrick Moore. That's it. He babbles on. Then you cut after 10 minutes. Chop it up into monthly segments. Absolutely baffling programme.
Right.
Awful picture. Looks like he's had a stroke.
Does a bit.
So bored. Thank you for watching. Toodaloo.
Get them all down here. And then we will tie you up.